Hello, everyone. My name is Connor Blay, and thank you all so much for joining our live event today as we'll be chatting about the US dollar and banking system. We get a lot of questions from international students on a daily basis, and a good amount of them are related to money. So before you come to the US, it's a good idea to get familiar with how the monetary system works. Let's just start off with the basics. So US currency is made up of coins and bills based on the decimal system. First, let's take a look at US coins. A penny is 1 cent or $0.01, meaning that 100 pennies equals $1. Then a nickel is 5 cents or $0.05. A dime is 10 cents or $0.10, and a quarter is 25 cents or $0.25. Each are used for transactions that end up between dollar amounts. For example, a slice of pizza might cost you $3.25. Then we have bills. Bills are going to be either $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, or $100. You may often hear the word buck, which is a slang term for $1. Get familiar with how each of the coins and bills work, as you'll be using them a lot to make purchases. When choosing a bank, you'll want to, I'm sorry. So I was on the wrong slide. While in the US, you'll find that the value of a dollar can go a long way. You should keep in mind that even though the dollar amount you pay for an item might be less than what you're used to paying in your home country, you will still pay more as the US dollar has one of the highest values of any currency in the world. The average individual pays about $100 to $200 per month on groceries. As you can see on the right of the slide, the average price of a gallon of milk is $3.59, and the average price of a dozen eggs is $1.60. That should help you gauge the cost of other common grocery items. Then you will need to consider the cost of other everyday items such as gas and rent. On average, people pay about $2.89 per gallon for gas and $1,098 per month for rent in a one-bedroom apartment. Upon arriving in the US, one of the first things that you'll want to do is set up a bank account. You'll want to set up a bank account on or near your campus so that you are able to conveniently make a transaction at your bank. US banks that accept international student customers include Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One, TD Bank, US Bank, and Chase. In order to open a bank account, you will likely need to show the following documents: your current passport, proof of address, for example, a utility bill will work, a letter of enrollment at your college, and a personal identification number such as a social security number, student ID number, passport number, international ID number with photo ID, or individual taxpayer identification number. When choosing a bank, now we're on this slide. When choosing a bank, you'll want to ask yourself these 4 questions. How much money will you be transferring? Some banks may put limits on how much you can transfer, so if you'll be transferring a lot, you'll want to work with a bank that can accommodate. Does the bank offer online banking? Online banking is the norm in 2021. It will make banking easier as you'll have access to everything you need on your smartphone or computer. Is there an ATM near where you'll be living? Most major banks have ATMs throughout the country, but you'll want to make sure that you have one near you so you can easily make deposits and withdrawals. Is the bank secured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, or FDIC? The FDIC insures your deposit activity, so if a bank failure should occur, your money is protected. Next, let's cover some common banking terms. A social security number is one that helps monitor your employment so that you can get social security benefits once you are eligible. International students are not automatically given a social security number and are not even legally required to have one. But it can be beneficial when opening a bank account to have one. You must be in the US for at least 10 days and be authorized to work in order to apply. Applications can be submitted at a nearby Social Security Administration office. Some more banking terms that you'll want to know include account fees. Some banks will charge you a fee just for having an account with them. Typically, this will be charged to you monthly. ATM fees are an extra fee for withdrawing money out of an ATM that isn't associated with your bank. For example, if you were banking with Wells Fargo and you went to an ATM that wasn't a Wells Fargo ATM to withdraw money, you would likely be charged, or you will be charged a fee of about $1 to $15. Next, we have insufficient funds charge. This is a charge for overspending. If you try to make a payment and you don't have enough money in your account, most banks will charge you for that, which leads into overdraft. When you spend more than what's in your account and the payment goes through, you will very likely be charged a fee for this. Next, we have online banking. This is, as I was saying, the norm for most banks in 2021. Banking online allows you to see statements and transactions digitally through an app or a web page. Lost card fees are if you lose a card and you can't find it, you will have to pay a fee in order to replace it. One exception is usually made if your card is stolen from you. A checking account is an account that allows you to make deposits and withdrawals easily, whereas a savings account is an account that allows you to put money away and earn interest over time. Next, we have ATM Card. This card is going to allow you to make your purchases, withdrawals, and deposits. And then we have finally a personal identification number or a PIN. Your 4-digit code that is used to get into your bank account is your PIN number. And this is just used for security reasons so nobody else can get into your account. If you should ever need to send or receive money from an international source, wire transfers are a great way to do so. Typically, banks charge large fees for making international money transfers, so we recommend researching third-party companies that will complete a wire transaction, wire transfer for you. When researching wire transfer companies, you should consider fees, available support, minimum and maximum wire transfer amounts, country restrictions, exchange rates, ratings and security, and transfer speed. Next, let's talk about credit cards. Credit is a form of borrowing money that allows you to make purchases with the expectation that you will be repaying the money you borrowed in full with interest. Typically, if you pay your full credit card balance on time every month, credit card companies will not charge you interest. You will likely also have annual fees attached to your account. While building credit is the best way to show lenders that you are a trustworthy borrower, it's important to do lots of research before applying for a credit card. If you don't think you will be able to afford credit card payments, then don't get a credit card. The last thing you want to do is end up with credit card debt. Important terms that you should know before applying for a credit card include APR and balance transfer. APR stands for annual percentage rate, and it is the interest charged for spending on a credit card annually. A balance transfer can be performed if you have more than one credit card. If you have debt on one card, you might want to do a balance transfer to another card with a lower interest rate. However, the best thing to do is to have only one card, as having many cards can spiral into overspending. While lots can go wrong if you don't use a credit card properly, there are many benefits to having one if you use it correctly. As an international student, you'll likely be flying a lot, which means you have the opportunity to rack up air miles. Lots of credit card companies will award you discounts on flights for having a lot of air miles. Another benefit that students love is cash back. Cash back is just a percentage of your spending returned in the form of cash as a reward for using your credit card. Finally, you can earn points on your credit card by making specific purchases. These points can be spent on designated goods and services. All right, so that concludes my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from our viewers if you all have any. I see we have one from Layla, I believe. Which banks have you mentioned? Okay. So I just listed off a few examples. There are other banks that you can bank with in the US. These are some of the main ones. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One, TD Bank, US Bank, and Chase. And I'm going to post these slides on our page after this event, so you don't have to worry about remembering everything I say. Does anybody else have any questions? Go ahead and send them in our comments, and I'll do my best to give you a good answer. You're welcome, Layla. All right. So I don't think we have any questions coming in. And if we don't have any coming in, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Hopefully you got something out of this. And as I said before, I'll be posting the slides on our Facebook page. You can go ahead and view those once they're up. And if you'd like to get more information on the US monetary system, we actually have a page called Money Matters, and you can visit that page to read all about the information we covered today and more. So, hello, Eric. Did you have a question before we wrap up? All right. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have any other questions, but if you do have a question, Eric, then you can send that in the comments and I'll answer that as I get off. So until next time, bye everybody and have a great day.